4, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome to the 4Art. Welcome to the 4Art with Robin Rios and Derail. That don't smell, cause I took a shower today. Yeah.
Hey everybody, so Derail and I are up at the 4Art space and we're deciding that we're gonna sketch together and just have a little conversation about some stuff.
Just stuff, yeah. Well, I think one of the things I know we've been talking about, I have to say one of the things we do have a lot in common, we do like to watch movies. For me, one thing I could say, which she already know, I'm cheesy. I like cheesy, bad movies. Don't get me wrong, I like good quality movies, but I have this tendency of watching some good, bad, cheesy movies. And some old school movies too. I think one of the movies, one of my favorite all-time movies right now is Teen Wolf, the first one with Michael J. Fox. That's probably one of my favorite movies of all time, of a werewolf playing basketball. Like, it don't get any funner than that. Like a basketball player that's a werewolf with skills, and dude can't be stopped, you know, so. And got girlfriends and everybody think he's cool, so, and he's a werewolf.
That's definitely true.
I'm just saying, you know.
I think you've always been the most fun to make fun of. Because you sure know how to pull out the cheese from way under.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, I like some cheese. Like, you know, I think, you know, like, especially when we talk about, like, our inspirations and we decide that, you know, like, we watch movies or read comic books and stuff, you know, I would say we definitely have a different taste in some of that. I mean, there's a lot that we agree and we like together, but I think there's a lot that we don't. But I appreciate your cheesiness because it's so fun. It's like you get so excited about this stuff, you know. And it was like, I think the last old movie that I was just like, I couldn't wait to watch again when I saw it pop up on one of the platforms was Firestarter.
Oh,
that is a classic. Oh, I love that movie.
Especially my man who be doing the telekinesis of that. Won't you get some coffee? And his nose be bleeding. I'm like, dude, I mean, you couldn't get any better than that. And I'm trying to think of that actress too. Didn't she play in?
Heather Locklear.
Yeah, man, Heather Locklear. I'm like, wow. I think about her and I'm trying to think of his name. He was the Bionic Man, and they played in this one TV shows like The Stump Man, and she played in T.J. Hooker too.
That's right.
Yeah, man, T.J. Hooker. That dude.
I watched all of those episodes.
Yeah, T.J. Hooker, like.
That was back in the day.
Dude was like, you couldn't escape with that nightstick. When you threw that nightstick at you, you were done. Like, seriously, like.
And that's just it. It was like, you know, I think, you know, the 70s and 80s always had like some of the best stuff ever. Like music-wise, videos started coming out and they were so theatrical. And then you had, you know, a lot of good series that came out, movies. But yeah, I mean, you know, that movie never gets tiring for me to watch, you know. I did see, which I haven't seen that in a while either, and I don't think they really put it out there that much, is Firestarter 2. You know, where they were trying to show when she grew up.
Really? Wow.
And that didn't do good at all.
I know it didn't. I know it didn't.
And I haven't seen it since the 90s maybe.
Okay.
When it first came out, I think that was about the time.
Okay.
But I guess it was terrible. It was so terrible that you can't even find it anywhere.
Wow, I didn't even know they made a part 2 of that.
It would be cool if they do that now.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially now with the effects and everything what they got. No, it will be really, really good like today. So they could really pull that off. Like
so Drew, get on that, girl, because we need a fire starter too.
Exactly.
She's a producer too, so let's get it together, you know. So you know what? I was.
What's up?
Your video that came up. We were talking about that earlier.
Which one?
The one that we put up for musing.
Oh,
if you guys haven't seen his musing, on our YouTube channel, please check that out because his work is amazing. And we were just talking about, because Derail and I, anytime I look at his sketchbook, I automatically start telling a story from his characters.
Yeah, she do.
And usually Derail always comes up with funny names and, you know, great titles and stuff, but he just, with these pieces, been working so hard and trying to work with the digital platform and getting to know that and everything, he just didn't get around to. And I was like, Derail, can I name your characters and put the titles in? He's like, oh yeah, go ahead, buddy. Yeah,
because I mean, to be honest with you, everybody, like with those characters, like I do get into them, but sometimes I do get into a focus like, hey, I'm just exercising. But like with Robin, all the time when she do look at my work, she would be like, no, Derail, you got to do this and that. And for these particular ones, unfortunately, it was like that type of exercise. But she was able to take them out and she started telling that story. Like on like the one, I think it's one that's called About to Bust That Move or something like that. And she, you know, Robin, Julian, something Knuckles and stuff, and fetching Fido. I'm talking about, I got to walk to the store. I'm like, wow. I was just like, and she actually, those characters and those names, actually that's something I really would do on a daily basis because I'm kind of crazy like that. So I just. Well,
you and I play together. I mean, our minds are like one.
Yeah.
We are seriously twins.
Yeah.
And it's like I feed off of what he does the same for me.
Yeah.
But it's like I love when I'm looking at his sketchbook and I'm like flipping through and I'm like telling the story and he's laughing because it's like you just feed off each other when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think what we should do, and you guys can let us know too, because I think that we should do a book flip with one of your sketchbooks. And then while I'm flipping through, I'll just tell the stories that I see.
Okay. Because
you guys let me know if you want us to do that, because we could do that.
Yeah, I can get probably one of my older ones. I'm not too old, but you know, I got a recent one I've kind of filled up, and I can bring that in. And she is really good. I mean, for me, I always get to witness it. It's like that frog or whatnot. So now everybody can see it, and she does it, and she does a really good job, like ad-libbing and telling the story with my stuff and everything, like totally good. But you know the other movie I did like too, one of my favorite ones is 3 O'Clock High. That's the one.
I don't remember if I saw that or not.
Ooh, that's a classic, Robin, because the dude, I want to say is, what's his name? He's the bad dude with his leather jacket, and all I know within the movie, nobody, if he touch him, he goes off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically the dude came to the school. I think it's Buddy LeVere or something like that. I'm killing the name. I kill names. That's all I gotta say.
It's true.
Yeah. So his name Buddy something, and dude got to the restroom with him. He was gonna tour the school, and he touched him, and that's when like my man was like, "We're gonna fight," you know. And my man been trying to avoid him from the fight, but you know, eventually he fought dude or whatnot. So.
Right.
But that's probably one of my favorite movies too, though. You know, because dude was like beating up everybody, like.
Yeah, I think you know, for both of us, it's always been about music.
Yeah.
And it's been about movies, comic books.
Ooh, and you know the other movie I saw too, my bad. Thrashing. Amazon got Thrashing on right now. I think I bought it for like $6.99 digital. It's a skateboard movie.
I saw that.
Josh Brolin, the young Thanos.
Yes.
Funny as hell. That movie is.
I gotta watch that again.
Dude, that's
now,
like,
when did that come out?
That came out, I think it was like 86, or I could be wrong. It came out like either 86 or 84. 84,
wow.
Something like that. That movie, I'm watching them, gang banging skateboarders or whatnot. I mean, you couldn't get any better. No, you don't get no better than that. I mean, gang banging skateboarders, you know, so. I mean, it got to the point, my man would break dance, and he said, man, that's old or something like that. I'm like, really? Dude with break dance? I'm like, he came up, got mad at him because he would break dance. I'm like, wow. But that was a good movie. I mean, my man, Thanos. Oh, man.
Yeah, this definitely had some really good movies back in the day.
Yeah.
And another thing that's, you know, I find really inspirational is animation.
Yeah.
I just, you know, you know, it doesn't have to be any particular style. I think I just love, you know, a good animation. It could be, you know, an indie, it could be, you know, anime. It don't matter. You know, it's just, I love, you know what I think I always feel more connected to is these really dramatic storylines, even if there's no words at all. You know, some of those indie animations, stop motion and all that, they have some of the best animations. One day we'll have to do like a review or something on some animations, because they're just so phenomenal, and I think those artists who do those should really get a lot more coverage, because it's like half the time they don't even have like, you know, words. It's all cinematic. But yet you know exactly what's happening from the second it starts to the end. I love that stuff.
I was gonna say, like, if you probably remember, I remember back in the day in school, they had some, I think, DVDs you was able to check out in the library. You was able to watch some of those like independent animation. They have like it was like a variety or something, a volume or something like that. So, I do.
Well, now I mean, hell, now we got YouTube. I mean, I watch a lot of that on YouTube. Which is awesome. You know.
Absolutely. Imagine that. We didn't have YouTube back then. Like, no. You know, it's like, what? YouTube?
We didn't even have cartoons all day long either. So.
Well, we did on Saturday.
In the 80s. But not all day. It was like mostly like in the morning. And then the weekdays. And you know what I've been watching, you talking about animation, and I swear this it just bring me back memory lane. I've been watching Transformers on YouTube, and just watching that, I'm just thinking about for Chicago, just Channel 9. So I'm just listening to the music, you know, every time I go off and comes on, I get goosebumps because I used to be at home watching that crap, that Transformers, and the cheesy dialogue with that, and Optimus Prime always calling out Ironhide, like, Ironhide, hey, do this for me. Okay, Optimus Prime. I'm like, oh, okay. We're gonna kick some Decepticon butts. And Megatron always screaming and Starscream, you'll never be the leader. Yes, I will, you know, Megatron. He always, you know, and what's that sound wave? Okay, I'm with you, Megatron. Eject. You know, I'm just saying, man. That, I mean, it just watching that, it's just, I've just been like, wow, I used to watch that crap in the 80s, you know? Just saying, you know. We're watching He-Man and She-Ra.
And She-Ra was, now I ain't gonna lie to you, now I sit back, if I watch She-Ra is kind of psychedelic, really psychedelic and crazy though. I'm just saying, you know, don't get me wrong, I mean, she was strong. I had a pet. With the unicorn, but then the horse talk. Didn't the horse talk?
I don't remember actually.
I could have sworn her horse talk. That's what I think that really kind of threw me off a little bit. Like the horse talk. It was a unicorn horse that talked. I'm like, damn, Pegasus or something. I'm like, shit, this shit was fucking crazy. I mean, and Hordak, he changed, and I mean, that shit was crazy. That's all I gotta say. She-Ra show was crazy, but He-Man, everybody was strong. That's the thing. Everybody was strong, dynamically, anatomically was strong. but they was weak as hell. I'm like, wait a minute, that was the thing that threw me off watching He-Man. Like, damn, everybody had muscles. Skeletor had muscles. He-Man had muscles, but he was the only one lifting mountains and shit. And only person, he had an echo voice too. Every time when we talked, when he was Adam, he picked him with a pink outfit and everything.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Prince Adam. And then he turned to He-Man with a tan and everything. Hey, like in the echo all the time. Like, damn, like, how y'all able to listen to that dude? He got an echo in his voice every time. Like, hey, Skeletor. I'm like, ooh, shit. Like, He-Man, shut the hell up. What that echo voice? I'm just saying. Yeah. Merman, and everybody had a man name at the end of He-Man. Yeah, He-Man, Merman, Beastman. Except for Skeletor, you know.
Definitely all the cheese factor.
Yes.
That you can handle.
Yes. That's where a lot of my cheese factor come from, a lot of the 80s, you know. I mean, from that, I think the one that was very cool for me, and it was very ahead of its time. I mean, now I got a cheese factor too, is Dungeons and Dragons. That cartoon show. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. You know, Tiamat with the 8 heads and shit, and what's his name? Avenger. His name was freaking Avenger. Always wanted their weapons. Everybody wanted something. Give me your weapons.
What were some of your favorite comic books?
I didn't really start getting into comic books probably, I would say like once I started really getting to grade, probably like 6th or 7th grade.
Yeah.
But it was still, I didn't have like that favorite comic book because I was like really into the art. So it was like I tried to start following artists or whatnot. But, and I'm kind of still like that today. It's like I'm not really, well, no, let me take that back. If I probably started out, I want to say, because it came out in the 90s and everything, so I probably started getting into that Brigade image comic books. I was really started getting into that. And I mean, as you kind of got older, whatnot, my taste kind of gradually changed a little bit. But I was more like into like, I thought this comic book, if it looked cool with the art, like, ooh, I'm gravitating towards that. Like Jim Lee was, you know, X-Men was like, wow. You know, I'm watching, that was like my favorite book, like Jim Lee drawing that. And then Mark Silvestri, I might be killing his name, so, you know, and Wireless or whatever, Rod Liefeld, X-Force. X-Force was one of my favorite ones because I liked that Rod Liefeld, you know. Everybody looked angry all the time, and as I call it.
Yeah. I always went for all the like really, like Frank Frazetta.
Okay.
You know, in terms of like illustrative styles, I love things like that. You know, then you know MC Escher.
Okay. Okay. That's like you probably liked what's his name too. He was really good. Barry. Oh, I'm killing his name too because I know he did an independent book too. He went off with Malibu Comics or something like that. And he was a really good artist, like Barry something, Winsmore or something like that.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. We're going on YouTube. I'm killing that dude name. Like, you can't say that dude name. Like, no.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names. Yeah. You know, even pronouncing them sometimes. You could tell me right then and there, and then I'll forget. Like my brain just shuts down when I'm trying to remember names.
Absolutely. Yep.
But yeah, I loved all that kind of stuff. You know, the like what the heck is his name?
Bill.
The one who did like the character or the alien.
Oh, you're talking about what's it, Geyser? Not Geyser.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's how you say it.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, don't beat us up, guys. Okay, we try.
Yep.
But it was that kind of art back when I was a teenager and stuff that I was so drawn to because like Frank Frazetta, his characters were so rugged.
Yeah.
Like the women and the men. Ooh. But he made his women, even though, you know, a lot of illustrators of his time, you know, the women were scantily, you know, dressed or whatever.
Yeah.
But he gave them like power.
He did.
They weren't some wimpy looking women, but and I think I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
But I loved his style. It was just so raw and just so like, you know, like I always talk about like there's no, nothing in life is perfect. There's no, nature is not perfect.
Yep.
You know, the world isn't perfect. Humans aren't perfect. And when we create art, a lot of times people think you need to be I need this to be perfect. I need everything to be perfect. Well, if you spent all your time trying to be this sort of persona of perfect, it doesn't exist.
No.
So by the time you get to the point where you actually can create and finish something, you have killed any emotion that could possibly happen.
Yep.
And I think like with Geyser, I'm assuming that how you Geiger or whatever.
Yeah.
His work was so dark.
Yeah.
And depressing, and it totally fit my lifestyle back in the 80s. Okay, so dark and depressing. But I understood the pain that he was putting in, and the thoughts and the memories and the whatever. You know, it's like I didn't need to read about it to understand it.
Yeah, I understand.
And then the detail and the depth.
Yeah.
It was like I never got tired of looking at it. I collected a few of the books and things back in that day. I'm glad I still have those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But wow, you know, it's like I feel like I just don't get to see that much of that kind of stuff these days from artists. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe people are just so caught up now. You know, because like back then, like you said, we didn't have all these distractions.
Yeah. No, you didn't. You didn't have.
And today, it's all about social media. You know, TikTok or whatever.
Yeah. Talking about what's face paper? We call it face paper.
Face paper. You know, but I mean, you know, it's obsessive. I mean, look at us. We're on YouTube now.
Yep.
We don't even, I mean, if we went back in time and talk about YouTube, nobody would even know.
No.
They'd be like,
they'd be looking at us kind of crazy.
What the heck are you talking about?
But the thing about it is, like, if we go back in time, you still be thinking about the dial-up.
Yeah.
I still be thinking about hearing that. What was that? Was it Net Zero? And then, of course, LOL. It was something else, too. I know it was Net Zero, LOL. It was another one too. It was another dial-up too, because Net Zero and that other one was going back and forth.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean,
I didn't really know a whole lot about that stuff. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think today it's a whole different world, and I think, you know, now we all reach out. Now with the pandemic, you know, we've all had to find other ways to deal with stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm always grateful for you and for all the people in my life.
Yeah.
Just kind of keep things going for each other. You know, we get down.
Yeah.
And we get depressed about certain things. Then we just call each other up and be like, hey, what's going on? You know, thinking about you.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. That makes a big difference in your day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I said, I think, you know, working on art is definitely, you know, something. I think when we reflect back on all the stuff we were just talking about with, you know, with movies and with music and different things like that, then we feel refreshed. Like, oh my God, we get inspired.
Yep.
You know, when you can't get outside sometimes and that's all you got, especially like now, you know, and you're like, whoa, and it's the little things sometimes. And you know, we talk about movies all the time or shows, and sometimes it's hit or miss, but we'll find that one thing, then we'll say, but what they did right there, that was really, that was good.
Exactly.
That was good. So it's just finding that little, you know, gem amongst it all.
And I think too, like you're saying, just being inspired, you know, like I said, like with movies. I mean, don't get me wrong, I got, you know, books, I probably read comic books and stuff like that. But for me, a lot of times too, like those movies do get me inspired because it's emotion. Yeah. You know, so yeah, it's just like, just always be thinking about just back in the day when I was growing up. Like, you know, even I could think about this other movie. I think about from the 80s too, The Last Starfighter.
Oh yeah.
Starfighter.
Starfighter.
Yeah, like thinking about that one, you know, and you know that was a cool movie. And I've been talking about that back in the day. They were supposed to make like they were supposed to make a storyline or something like that. And but you know how that goes with Hollywood, you know. But bottom line, you know, I witnessed that. You know, I seen that. Matter of fact, I think, you know, God rest his soul, I think my dad did take me and my sister to the drive-in to see that.
Yeah.
I think he did. Yeah. That was a cool movie, you know. But now I got it digitally, you know, downloaded.
Of course you do.
Yeah. Just like Teen Wolf, that was on sale. I think it was like $7.99. Like, yeah, Teen Wolf. Like,
You have to have one of the most extensive movie collections, I think, of anybody I know.
Kung Fu too. I kind of slacked up though, because I was doing some good Kung Fu collections too though. I like they changed the names of them. I think they called them the 5 Elements, but then they called the Super Ninjas. And oh man, love those Shaw Brother movies though. But at the same time, I like those other Kung Fu flicks instead of Shaw Brothers. Don't get me wrong, Shaw Brothers, like they're like the top notch in the Kung Fu, as you want to say, like if you know your Kung Fu stuff, like that's heck of a name to know. But that too have a nice little collection of that. It's just like, I think that's what I've been doing, just like what I have seen when I was a kid. I've been trying to recapture that a little bit, you know, so I can always, as you call it, have that inner child when I be doing my artwork, you know, because I think sometimes we get caught up like everything's so serious. It's like it shouldn't be serious. The first thing, why we did what we're doing, why we do what we do, because it was fun.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I used to think about.
Well, but I mean nowadays it's just it's a lot of stress.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I'm sure a lot of people watching us now, they understand.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely been talking to a lot of artists, and you know, some of them, which is great. Yeah. They really haven't had a lot of like negative feelings about, you know, this whole pandemic, and a lot of it's really been pretty positive for them. Yeah. Which is great to hear, because just talking to them, just you know, like they just been fueling my feelings a little bit. Yeah. You know, and it's just like, you know, I might come in and I'm like not really myself. Then I'm talking to the artist and their energy just kind of filling me up a little bit and making me feel like, oh, you know, thanks for that, because I needed that boost that day. Yeah. But to know that, you know, not everybody is having, you know, issues, which is great. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, you know, for the rest of us, you know, it's been a pretty rough time. Yeah. And not that it's, you know, stopped anybody in their tracks, and I'm hoping it doesn't, because to me, you know, there's always still the light at the end of the tunnel, even if we can't see it right then and there. Yeah. You know, we do all go through depression, and those feelings start coming up. Yeah. But I think, you know, we have each other, you have your friends and your family. Hopefully they stand behind you. Yeah. And you can use that to keep on keeping on. I think, you know, with you guys behind me too, with this YouTube channel, and try and get this, you know, up and running so we can reach out to other artists from all over, then all of a sudden we're just like, it makes you feel good, you know, it makes you feel good to talk about it, or, you know, and definitely do, guys, you know, you guys ever have questions, please leave it in the comments. I'll make sure the artists get it and they can respond to you on the channel. We're really just brainstorming too, a lot of things that we want to see happen with this channel as time goes on, and more discussions. You know, I think Derail and I, like I said, we're like twins, Wonder Twin power, activate. So, you know, I think if you guys want to see more videos with us, then we'll definitely be on that. And if there's some things, content, things that you'd like us to talk about or go over, again, we'd be happy to do that too. But for now, I think we're gonna sign out. Derail, what do you think?
We're gonna sign out for today.
I mean, my drawing really hasn't gone that far. You want to show what you did?
I tried to draw Robin, but I did it as a pen. I should have did with a pencil.
Okay, because see, you making me look like a dude.
See, I'm just saying, I did it with a pen.
Although, I will tell you, you know, I've been sort of on a health thing, so he did make me look skinny. I'll give you that. Thank you guys for tuning in, and you know, one love. Derail, say goodbye.
Goodbye. I like to sing. I don't care what you say. I like to sing. She's gonna hit the button and gonna cut me out. Cut me out, Robin, peace out.